So is it just a normal thing now that people will bring blankets to the movie theater?
Oh yeah. I've seen a lot of people do it.
But it's one of those just why you're not living there. I personally have never, but at the same point I understand that some people want to do that, which is fine, but I don't know, it seems very different.
Yeah. But you know a movie in particular like that. A lot of people bring blankets to. I can't
dang it, I knew this day was coming. That darn Lion King remake with Beyonce, where I've actually talked to some people, and some of them were, some people were talking about our other podcast we did on the original, and they're like, maybe Beyonce will be good. I'm like, maybe. But we'll see. It's okay, don't cry. But anyway, as long as we're here and we've seen it, why don't we talk about it?
Yeah.
Alright, so hey everyone, welcome to the Triple J Studios podcast. You already knew you were here. Thank you for listening. And as promised, I have reacquired Anthony. Say hi, Anthony.
Hello, I'm finally.
He's finally back in the country. Where have you been?
Romania and work.
And yeah, I remember when the film came out, a couple people were like, oh, you gotta go see The Lion King. It's like, no, I've already promised with Anthony. So we went and watched it, we got out, and then we had some comments to make.
Wait. Before that, let me just say, like, even after, how long has the movie been out for now?
I want to say it came out in the middle of July.
Yeah, it's already,
so
theaters are still packed.
To give in context, it's been about a month.
Yeah, and theaters are still packed with people going to watch it. Like, we were just going, like, I was buying tickets, and legit, I was surprised, like, most seats were taken.
Yes, it came out on July 17th.
Yeah, that's gonna be shocking. It's been a month, a full month.
A full month as of today, recording on
and theaters
the
are still
17th.
packed. They're still making more money out of it.
Well, and I just got a little factoid here. The Lion King is the highest grossing animated film of all time.
Yeah, live action film. Highest grossing animated film there.
Which, yay! And that's just some special. I mean, oh my!
I want to be so happy because it's the Lion King. I really want to be so happy. It's the Lion King. I can't.
But it beat Frozen though.
Yay! But it beat also the original animated movie.
Yeah, you know what's scary is just looking at this and seeing how many Disney films have the most.
The top 10 is basically like 8 of them are Disney.
Yeah, you got The Lion King at 1, then Frozen, Incredibles 2, Minions, Toy Story 3, Despicable Me 3, Finding Dory, Zootopia. A lot of sequels that no one asked for.
Well, I mean, Zootopia was the last sequel. That was pretty
Zootopia was fine, but at the same point, Minions?
Yeah,
that does not. Everyone was like, again, like a Beyonce thing, it might be good.
No. Mm-mm. Okay, so you know what?
Not that I want to make one thing clear. I don't have anything against Beyonce, but I don't think that if someone is popular, they should automatically be given that role. In the sense that with the Addams Family movie coming out, Snoop Dogg is playing the cousin. He shouldn't. It could be anyone.
Anyone could actually play that role. Like, no joke. He speaks.
Yeah, like
he doesn't speak English.
Yeah, like MGM. Just hear me out. Here's my take. There, use that instead, and we're good.
You can put that on repeat every single time.
Reverse it, stretch it out, you're good to go. I can do an entire monologue speech of that character if you want. But we're not here to talk about that. Nope, today we're here to talk about The Lion King 2019 quote-unquote live action. Now, one thing that we're going to be doing is something a bit different, where I don't want to focus mostly on the story, but instead I want to discuss the technological advancements, things we found different, things we liked and didn't like. So, this podcast may be a bit more jumpy, in a sense, where we might go from this point to this point, but at the same point, it's The Lion King, it's almost exactly copy and paste.
That's what I was about to say. The reason we're doing this is because it's basically the same story. Almost nothing really changed.
Except for stuff we liked.
Yeah. It's basically the same story. Same thing happens. Don't worry about it.
Which is fine. I want to, before we even begin, which I've said like 3 times now, is we both left and we still liked the film.
Yeah.
We still really enjoyed our time there and we really liked it.
I mean, for me, it's my favorite live action film that Disney made. which is saying, I mean, it's not really saying much. I don't really enjoy any of the Disney live action films. So.
Right. Personally, mine was Aladdin, but you haven't seen that
seen
yet,
that yet.
so I feel like that would be a good podcast to do on one. Have you seen the Maleficent one?
No, I've not seen the same one as Maleficent one.
Okay, so what did you think of the trailer of Mistress of Evil?
It's kind of interesting because apparently Maleficent's like the mother now.
She was in the other one, yeah.
Yeah,
So the whole story was that she was. Remember the fairies?
yeah.
Yeah, apparently she was one of those fairies, and then fell in love with a human. I watched this a while ago. Fell in love with a human. Human left, became king, and then chopped her wings off.
Oh.
And then she's like, "Oh no, war!" And then started a war with all that. So that's how that happened.
Yeah.
Which I like those types of films better that expand on a previous story other than telling the same story, which is a podcast all on its own.
Well, anyways, let's get through this podcast. So.
like it's a chore. So, do you want to start with saying who played what?
All right. One of my favorite things I actually do I like Donald Glover playing Simba. I liked his voice. It was pretty nice. Beyonce playing Nala.
We'll get to.
We'll get to that. Seth Rogen playing Pumbaa. It was okay.
He did okay.
Timmy, what is it? I cannot say Eschner. Timmy Eschner playing Timon.
No.
No.
Just no.
I felt that was no. What is it? Chiwetel? I cannot say that one. It's the person who's playing Scar, which honestly I thought it was okay.
I grew into it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, yeah, he totally nailed it, but
it was definitely it's not the worst thing they could have done. It was honestly okay.
It was fun. I feel like he could have done better.
John Oliver playing Zazu though, I actually like. I was okay with that.
He did a really good job. I felt like he was the one that actually encompassed the previous character.
Yeah, I don't know who these two play because it's not showing me, their characters, so I can't.
Okay, well, either way, we essentially got all of the main characters.
There's Kid Simba, who I did not like the voice of at all.
At all?
At all.
Okay.
Cause I prefer the original voice of Simba was, in my opinion, better. The Kid Simba was better.
Yep.
J.D. McCary is playing Kid Simba. I preferred the original.
How old is he? Like 9?
I don't know. He doesn't look 9, I can tell you that.
Oh, never mind. Just saw a picture. He ain't 9. But yeah, I felt like he was okay. He definitely tried. I want to say that there was some sort of auto-tuning.
Oh,
okay. I want to say there was some auto-tuning when he was singing. Just because it was weird to hear him talk and then suddenly have this perfect voice. If he's not, then well done that he has that great singing voice. But at the same point, I don't know, something fell a little off about that.
Let me just say though, there's one person who I'm so happy they brought back.
Uh-huh.
James Earl Jones playing Mufasa. Hallelujah! So good to hear his voice again. My God, if you guys ever watched The Lion Guard, you would see why I'm so happy.
I forgot about that. You don't really like The Lion Guard.
No.
For a good reason.
Don't like it at all.
Did you see the images going around where they brought back Scar?
Wait, what?
Yeah. They, I'll show you after the podcast, but they essentially went, and had a giant, I think it was like a type of smoke, like a volcano of sorts. And just Scar reappears and he's back alive. Whoa! Yeah.
So he apparently escapes them. Okay,
No. Like he is dead, but it's like his ghost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he comes back all shredded from the hyenas, which I think is probably a good starting point is the voice acting and all of that. Who would you say is the best and the worst?
Obviously the best, James Earl Jones. My opinion, Mufasa sounds so amazing.
It was nice that he reprised it.
Yeah, but I mean, if I didn't have to pick James Earl Jones, I'd probably honestly take Donald Glover and his Simba voice. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like the way he spoke I actually enjoyed that. What about you?
I think my least favorite was probably...
Yeah, for us, but you keep going.
Okay, well, we can start with the best. I think the best, in my opinion, was, of course, Mufasa, but not picking that. I really liked how Zazu sounded because he did keep up with exactly how his character was and the same character traits, which was nice. Mm-hmm. Going on to least favorite, Timon.
Yes, I was about to say that. Timon is my least favorite. Pumbaa is okay. Timon just, oh my gosh.
Pumbaa I could kind of deal with, but as soon as he started singing, started singing the
Can You Feel the Love?
Can You Feel the Love and also Hakuna Matata?
Yeah, it just didn't work.
It didn't.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, the voices in this were not made to sing these songs. The voices in the original were made for those particular songs. So when you hear the difference, it's such a big difference. They don't sound like they should. They sound so offbeat.
Yeah.
They don't sound correct.
It is very just strange to hear all of that too. Of exactly how they. Okay, I think that might make it sound a little better. I just realized that it was essentially focusing on the upper part of the mic. I think that I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. If not, I'll just edit it.
But yeah, no. Timon. Oh my! You know what he sounded like to me? I kind of don't want to say like it. It sounded like a Jewish mom. You know what that. You know how a Jewish mom was? It's a guy who plays this, which kind of like, I was like, what?
Well, I mean, the original person, Nathan who? What was his last name? Nathan...
I forgot.
I don't know, but the original person that played it, he was gay.
Yeah, I know, but the difference between this and that was, there was a huge difference. He sounded like he was perfect for the role. Billy H did not sound like he was perfect for the role.
No, I felt like that could have been definitely changed. In a sense, Seth Rogen, fine. That's a whole nother, like, he's popular, so he has to play Pumbaa. But Timon could have been much better.
Yeah.
Now, going on to the one part that I know we have a lot to talk about is, you know what? No, let's start easy. The story. We'll ease ourselves into this. Don't want to hit the big parts. The story is essentially the same.
Just copy, paste, edit some things, done.
Which, again... Go listen to our other podcast if you want to hear all that.
It's like basically that meme, can I copy your homework? Just change it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah, just real quick.
Just real quick.
But just like the quickest rough draft ever, Simba loses his father who dies, which we'll talk about. And then Scar chases him out. He meets Timon and Pumbaa to go into this magical area. Years pass by, Nala finds him. They go back to the Pride Lands. And then Simba reclaims his throne as king of the Pride Lands. Scar dies. Spoilers. Okay. It was essentially copy and paste throughout the entire thing, which is fine. But have you seen the Beauty and the Beast live action?
Yes, I have.
What were your thoughts on adding scenes to it? Because I personally enjoyed that.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the adding scenes, but for this one, I don't know. It felt like it was just they're trying to add filler.
Yeah, they're like, how can we make this over 2 hours?
Yeah. It didn't even go 2 hours. It was 1 hour and 59 minutes.
Dang it! Someone in the production team was like, shoot, we forgot to add.
Oh, it was 1 hour 56 minutes. Someone around there.
I don't know. It's not 2 hours, though. So, overall, the story, exactly the same. Fine. We both really enjoyed the story, so that was good. The opening with... They essentially copied and pasted the exact opening.
Except they changed a little bit of the lyrics.
Yeah. Which the movie started, and usually I have notes before these podcasts so that I understand what I'm getting into. But this time I went without notes, and the first thing that popped into my head was the sun rose. I'm like, this is so beautiful. It's so pretty. And then the lady started singing, from that day we arrived. And I'm like, that's not the right lyric. It's from the day we arrived on the planet. It was, that's not the right lyric.
But I will say this, though. The animation, gorgeous. It is a gorgeous film. That's what I want to say. If you are going to watch this movie, it's going to be for the animation. Like, the CGI is amazing. And, like, it really surprises me. Every single thing in there is CGI.
Yeah.
It's 100% CGI.
It's animated. When the Jungle Book came out, I remember thinking the same thing of like, well, it's kind of easy to just plaster animals onto there. But then I realized you actually had a human there.
Yeah.
This has none of that. There's no human.
It was crazy, though, in the Jungle Book, though, that human had to actually, like, interact and, like, believe those animals are there. And it actually looks like he believes they're there.
That kid did extremely well.
Yeah.
Is it a film that I would watch over and over? Probably not. But for that kid's acting, really good.
Yeah, no, the Jungle Book, I would say, actually, I'll talk about that one. We'll get to, we got to get back to this film. We keep driving on.
We keep jumping all over the place with these different films because we really like films, if you didn't know. Mm-hmm. So,
looks like we don't really. This one was.
So, the story, again, that's the same. Next topic is the songs.
Why, Disney? Why? They added a picture. They took they wanted some type of they changed how the rhythm goes. They changed how the voices work.
Do you want me to give you a solid minute to talk about it and I just stay quiet?
Oh my god, everything just is not how it should be. I can't wait to be king. It has parts that are longer than they should be, stuff that is shorter than it should be, and so many scenes that just it doesn't work. It doesn't sound as good. And if I'm just gonna tell you right now, if you're gonna listen between which one I would tell you to listen to, obviously the original animated film. The reason for this is because it was made for it. These people's voices were checked beforehand. They sung it, and they were used because they knew these voices would work. These voices, on the other hand, don't work this way. It doesn't. You can't transfer a film to that film and expect it to be the same thing because it won't ever be the same thing. You have to edit it to make it better. They didn't edit. They tried to edit it, but it just doesn't sound anything nearly how it should.
Are you okay now?
No! Be Prepared was ruined.
Okay, hold on.
It was ruined.
Okay, hold on. Before your face is red, let's start slow. We have Can't Wait to Be King. On the plus side, in the previous podcast, you said we both believe that song wouldn't be in.
I will say it is one of the better ones. It's on the better side.
This song sucks because it's all tempered wrong.
No.
No, it's the best one. I felt that song was okay.
Yeah.
Because it did fit in with the surrounding.
Yeah.
Now, in the cartoon one, I still really liked that one better. Mm-hmm. Because I liked how it knew it was a cartoon and it knew it had to be silly. So it played the animals stacking on top of each other and then falling.
And because you're trying to make this realistic, you can't do that.
Can't do that. And I also liked how Zazu was in a flight of birds.
I was okay with that. But again, the only thing I had a problem with is the voices. Just if you compare it to the original, they just don't match. The song, the beat, the rhythm, they don't match like they should.
No, if you played both songs at the same time and listened to them edited correctly, it would definitely not sound the same. Now, Be Prepared. Be Prepared is actually a song that I really enjoy.
To me, it's the best villain song Disney's ever made.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Because it has that, other films like Little Mermaid with Ursula, you kind of had, she's always playing this, oh, I'm going to be good for you type of person. And then, what's another one? You have Gaston. Yeah. That's a big, ego booster.
Oh, that was such a good... And then there's also the Moana. Just that's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Exactly. Moana's... And then you have the original Disney, amazing, sounds great. Live action, that's prepared for the century of things.
Oh, not even. I've told you already, but whenever I didn't realize we were in this song until he went, so be prepared for the murkiest scam. I'm like, oh, you're singing.
Yeah. Oh, he basically was speaking his lines.
Yeah. The one part that kind of got me caught off guard was when they started going, be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. Because it's you're not singing. You're just chanting at that point. Here's my rant. So he wasn't singing as much. The song was speeding up. I'm like, oh, maybe we're actually going to, it's going to start, that. That's the first verse. And then it fades away. And I was so sad. I've never been sad at a film for, just giving too little. Yeah. Poaching movie. But either way, it was just keep going.
Oh, and later I want to talk about the hyenas.
The hyena.
Later.
I'm gonna sound very uncultured. Is Whoopi Goldberg alive? Look that up. I think she is.
I'm pretty sure she's alive.
Pretty sure she is. Everyone listening so far is oh my god, you should know that.
Yeah, she's alive.
Yeah, I would have loved her to have
kept her role.
Whoopi Goldberg, if you want to do a podcast with us, let me know. We can let you on free. Don't worry about that. Not that anyone pays to be on.
It's the hyenas are sad.
Ed
is gone.
Ed was complete. Ed just became from the like
to someone who takes personal space.
Yeah, it's like such character waste.
Yeah, I know.
It could have been used better. So Shenzi, what's her name? Shazari.
Yeah, Shazari.
The girl one.
Yeah.
The girl hyena. I felt like.
Yeah, Shazari.
Yeah.
Shenzi. Played by Florence Kazumba.
She did an okay job.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like her delivery was very spot on. However, I felt that whoever wrote her lines could have done some more research on how she originally talked. Because she went from this like sarcastic, going like, come on, Scar, we gotta go. We got this. We don't need a king. Mm-hmm. To just one of those stereotype strong, independent woman type. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but at the same point, you don't need that because she wasn't that before. You knew she was independent and strong because of how sarcastic and like she's like ready to go.
I know, but the difference. Another thing is like she just takes control of everything. It's not like. It's not like, how do I say, she's a dictator in a sense. Like, she's her own leader, does all this, has a serious voice. What I loved about Shenzi in the original, she was sarcastic, she was funny to listen to and watch, and her expressions. Another thing about this film, there's no expression.
We're getting to that later. Okay. We're getting later. Next song, Hakuna Matata.
Oh, I will say there is one song I was pretty happy about after Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, okay. So Hakuna Matata came on, and again, that's the whole voice acting syndrome. It wasn't given with the correct emphasis on certain things. Mm-hmm. It went for a while. The original one went for a while, too.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
This one was just like, okay, when are you going to end?
Yeah, like, what, please?
Please? And the one part that caught me off guard was when Pumbaa's in his opera mode, I guess you would call it, and he's like, and my friends were downhearted every time that and then in the original he goes, Pumbaa not in front of the kids, and I'm like, that was a really good joke because he's breaking the fourth wall in this type of film, but this one he just went, I'm not gonna stop you, buddy.
Yeah.
No.
I know.
That's not...
I was surprised. They were like, oh, you finally said the line? Okay.
Even Pumbaa was like, what? You're allowing me to say... Okay. Yeah, it was okay. It went on for a while.
I mean, Simba...
And then when adult Simba came in and he started singing, okay. His voice is okay.
Yeah.
He can't sing. He's okay at singing.
Donald Glover.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
So, okay. The next song is...
No, wait, before that, The Lion Sleeps Tonight. I was actually pretty happy when they put that in. I was actually... They actually, like, instead of just being Akumboa. See, that's the original. And then in this one, they actually, like, have the words. And I was, like, actually pretty enjoyed that.
I thought it was just going to be, like, a little, like, 5-second thing. It's like a joke. And I'm like... It's still going.
Yeah, and I was actually enjoying it. And then the lioness comes in.
And then Nala comes out of nowhere. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, by the way, that is an extra scene where we actually see how Nala left.
Yes! Which I actually enjoyed that scene.
Yeah.
Which was because I felt like in the original, Zazu's fantastic in this movie. In the original, he's caged up. Mm-hmm. He doesn't really do much. But in this one, he like kicks a hyena in the face, rides a hyena
he's
into
so much
a boulder.
Braver in this movie.
Yeah, he's so cool.
This movie, he's actually like he's brave. He's not
doing
like
stuff.
Scared. Okay.
Anyway, I really like Zazu. So
we'll get back to Zazu later.
But back to that scene. This is after Scar has kind of essentially taken over the Pride Lands, and Nala's going to start going after. And she says, I'm going to go find help.
Yeah.
All right. I felt like her kind of like hiding in that little, some of this all over the place. That was okay. But I don't understand. So she goes and hides on top of a cliff, and then the hyenas pop out of nowhere. Where did they come from, and how did they not see Nala go up?
No, because Nala looked back. She saw them coming. They weren't looking her way, so she moved up before Scar could come and see her as well.
Got it.
And that's when they appeared. They were already they were walking that way already.
And they're like, "Come on, man!"
Yeah, no. And then another thing. This is what makes Zazu so amazing. Scar's about to look up. Guess who comes in to save?
Hello,
Zazu.
That was good. So the next song was "Can You Feel the Love Tonight," which is Beyonce and Donald Glover.
And to me, that was honestly probably the one that was probably the least messed up.
Really?
Yeah, in my opinion. I prefer the original by far. I prefer the voice of the original now. I don't prefer Beyonce.
You know what I didn't like? And I don't have any singing experience or anything, like any
the way
teaching or anything. But just hearing them go can you feel?
Yeah, no, that's what I didn't like about that at all. I was like, come on, you're not supposed to. You do that.
Yeah, you don't have to modernize the song.
Can you feel the love tonight? Now, can you feel the love tonight? It's not so supposed to be.
No, wow, we really beat. But yeah, no, that's not how the song is supposed to go. And then also, and I kind of felt about this in the original too, was that directly after that song, they have a fight and they're like, "We're breaking up," and they leave, but then they get back together. Obviously, I understood that, but in this one, I felt like they probably should have. If they're gonna add scenes, add a scene where they kind of start to bicker about something.
Yeah, and let me just say, my favorite song in The Lion King, and I think always it will be, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Yeah, the original Can You Feel the Love Tonight. So this one, it's not my favorite for this one. The only song that I felt like was okay, and the reason is because it is an original song made for the film,
right?
Was Spirit by Beyonce.
Which was fine. There's always a modern song in these movies now. Yeah. Oh, any movie now, but it's just one of those I'm like, where is it? Come on. And then she starts, there it is. So those were essentially the songs I want to talk about. Circle of Life real quick. It was the same.
Yeah. Just very small word switches, but it's not.
Yeah, which, fine. I can look over slight small changes. For instance, I know you haven't seen Aladdin, but Prince Ali, when that happens, one of the lines that they changed is, he's got slaves, he's got servants and flunkies. They changed that to, he's got 10,000 servants and flunkies. Oh, and it's I understand that. Why. I get that. That's fine.
But here's the thing.
I really liked it. I really liked that film. But I understood why they had to change that. Also, Tim Rice. He's the one that wrote the lyrics in the original, and he wrote the lyrics for this one as well.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So, okay.
Oh, what else I was going to say? One thing I will say, I actually preferred the old one. You know where Simba's running? And it was the
slow motion?
Yeah. I prefer that before this one, before Spirit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there was just so much more.
It was weird to see Nala just walking. I'm like, why wouldn't you keep looking for help? You're like, well, I found this person I thought was dead. Better give up now. Oh, well.
Yeah.
At that point, Nala was already back. Okay.
You want to know why? Because it's played by Beyonce. That's why.
That's why.
She's disappointed in her own voice.
Beyonce. So, okay. The next part I want to talk about is actually I want to focus on some characters. And I want to start with Scar. I felt like the two things that were extremely over the top was Scar's acting and the music.
Yeah.
I felt like the music was way too hyped. It was extremely, out there and loud and big. And then Scar there with it was very menacing and all that. I still like the original Scar better, though. Because he had... One line I noticed was... During when Scar's checking on Simba and he's like, oh, you've killed your own father. I'm like, he did that, but you make it sound jerkish. Just kind of it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, Scar, how do I say he was okay.
He was okay.
I had no hate for him. It was okay. I mean, it's just. compared to the original, you just can't compete. Someone whose like voice is basically was made for that role.
That's what I was gonna say. When Scar goes like run away and keep going, and then the hyenas come behind him, the 3 hyenas. In this one, he goes, kill him, like really dramatic and everything. But what made it fun in the original was that he gave him a little moment, and then he just went kill him.
Yeah, because he was like
very sarcastically.
Because in the old one, it said like Scar, it was like a game to him.
Yeah, it was like a hunt.
Yeah,
essentially. So he's like, just kill him.
And this one, he's legit, just pure seriousness, no emotion,
which is fine.
And
but
here's the problem. This is the problem I have with basically all the characters. They're trying to play this realistically, and you know how lions can't show emotion. Yeah. Like in real life, they tried to show that with the voices as well, and it just does not work. There's like no emotion put into anything.
Yeah, a lot of the emotion isn't there, and as long as we're talking about emotion, Timon and Pumbaa,
they have probably the most emotion out of everyone.
Oh my gosh, they did okay. That's all I'm gonna say.
They have so many fart jokes in that one, in this one.
Oh my god. Some of the fart jokes are okay and needed to be there. Like, I really liked how Pumbaa goes like, I always thought those were balls of gas in the sky. Why is everything gas to you? That line was funny because it was in the original. Yeah. Following it by a fart does not make it funnier.
I know.
It's fine, but I don't get why fart jokes are all over the place.
Kids. That's why.
Kids these days. But at the same point, I think you don't need to play down to a kid's level to make them laugh.
Yeah, you really don't.
Any joke that I think can make an adult, a child, anyone laugh is a good joke. If it can only make one person laugh, though, it's okay.
Yeah, so like in the film, there was like almost no laughing. Like there was very little times where I heard like that.
You know what I mainly heard in the theater was the emptying of the like slushies and popcorn things when Scar came up to sing "Be Prepared." Like people like, shoot, what am I gonna do to entertain myself? Guess I'll watch the movie. So
that was basically me. I was trying to like get my slushie.
I heard you stop serving. I'm like, oh, you ran out. But yeah, so there was all of that. There wasn't much emotion in the film. Mm-hmm. But again, some characters did really well portraying their emotion.
Timon and
Pumbaa.
Except
Scar, Simba at points.
Oh, Zazu, 100%.
Yeah. You know what? The only point of the film that actually made me almost cry was not even, which I want to get to this scene in a minute, it wasn't Mufasa's death, but it was when they were both playing under the stars.
Oh, yeah.
That scene I absolutely love because to give you, I don't know, but in other films that I've seen, it's mainly been a child does something bad and then their parent grounds them or something and then they run away and then they die. In this one, though, I really love the father-son connection where Simba comes up to his father and he goes, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And Mufasa's just like...
He's calm.
Yeah, he's like, whatever, I'm your dad, they're gonna fear me because I'm in charge of them. And they start playing around. And the music just behind it was beautiful in this rendition.
Again, that's in the original.
It's in the original, so I love both. Mm-hmm. That's great.
And the live action, though, it's beautiful.
Oh, it's
everything in there is gorgeous.
It's gorgeous because you can't see them. And what I mean by that is that I think having them in silhouettes was a really good idea other than we need fireflies or something to light them up. I really like that scene. Mm-hmm. Mufasa dies though.
I don't know.
Do you want to talk about I don't know. Maybe that there's no emotion and he's like, son, jump, and then he doesn't and gets hit. Aw, dang it. Oh, well.
He doesn't jump. How do I say this? Oh, wait. I want to talk just about Mufasa by himself first.
Okay, go ahead.
He is a beast in this film. Oh, my God. Okay, so in the original, right? All right, in the original, we have the 3 hyenas versus him. No, in this one, you have 15 hyenas, and he wrecks them all. He basically just knocks them off each and every single time. They all start running away. It's like, he is a beast. He is so strong and overpowered.
Mufasa the beast lion.
Yeah, Mufasa, oh my gosh.
He did very, like, it's incredible he didn't die. Because he went to the Mufasa place. He went to the hyena place, fought them all off, and then went back and then talked to his son. And then the next day got hit with a wildebeest. That doesn't kill him. Climbs up, falls a little, but then climbs back up, and then dies.
Because he gets thrown and the wildebeest are trampling him at the same time.
Right, which is how the original was. Mm-hmm. And again, line delivery is everything. Yeah. In my Walter Ross films, a lot of those lines, I would do it, then edit it, and then hate that line after like the 5th time I heard it. So I redid it a whole bunch of other times. I think the most I redid one line was, and I can almost quote it, in the 3rd one, there's a line where Walter and Ross, they're both trying to find some clues. And Walter goes, exactly. And now all we need now is... And I had to redo that line almost like 15 times because I could not figure out which word to emphasize. And I'm proud of how it came out, though, so that's good. Mm-hmm. But going back to The Lion King, when Scar is about to throw him off, what made it so scary, and that, like, Scar's a villain, is that he whispers, long live the king. And this one, he's like, long live the king! Woo!
Says it out loud. You know what's crazy to me? I just realized this. When Scar became... In the original... He said he was there, though, but he couldn't save them in time, right? That's a good defense.
Right.
This one, he says he wasn't there at all. Zazu saw him. Why didn't Zazu say anything?
Yeah, like, Zazu could have been... If this was a court case, Scar would have lost in 10 minutes. Because even one of the hyenases goes like... Or not hyenases, the lionesses. They just walk up and go like, wait, then how could you see his eye? It's like... Yeah, that's a good point. Why didn't anyone talk about that?
Zazu could have legit just said, Scar was there.
Scar did it. No, because Zazu left. Remember?
Yeah, but Zazu, he talked to the lionesses, remember? He could have said something. He said nothing.
Nothing. It's like, geez, I wonder how he did that. Ugh. It was a very interesting scene because I know what I'm gonna get a lot for people who listen to this. Man, you didn't cry during The Lion King when that scene happened. I'll cry in the 90s one. That's fine. This one though is just kind of oh well. At least I have the 90s version. It didn't sound right.
Mufasa, he's the only one that really, like, I felt was perfect for the role he was given. Zazu, again, I felt he was really good for his role. Perfect as well. But Mufasa was the one, of course, taking his role back was perfect. He's the only one, like, I really cared about. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he died great, but it's like, I'm supposed to care more about Simba.
He died great.
But I'm supposed to put myself in Simba's shoes. Like, oh my, what happens if, like, I would ever lose my father? I would be in tears.
Exactly.
I did not feel like I was in Simba's shoes this time. I was like, okay.
Which, I mean, of course, I hope that goes for anyone. It goes for myself, at least with what you said. But in Simba's case, he with no emotion either, he just walks up to him and goes, wake up. Come on. Gotta get home. Help! Oh, well, I guess just lay here. It wasn't enough. I needed, like... what would have made that sad is if when that wildebeest starts running, have him trip over the corpse and then keep going. That's how you make that scene sad. Mm-hmm. Here's what I would have done. Have Scar whisper the line, and then he falls. And then that plagiarism, I mean, that unique scene where Simba's just sitting on the ledge and they zoom out. Nothing like the original. Oh, no. Have him do that, but then have him search for him a little longer so that the audience already knows, for both old and new viewers, of like, oh, he's already dead. Then have him discover him, but only on the back so he doesn't see his face, and goes like, Dad, wake up. And then have him come up and do the rest of that line. Then Scar shows up and just is...
No, but in the original, he actually, like, sleeps with his father, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, he fall, like, it took longer. He just appears out of nowhere. Scar just, 5 seconds later, is there.
Yeah, it's like, how did you get down here? He must be a mountain lion.
Exactly. And
yeah, it was just there wasn't any time for Simba to actually understand what was happening. And then when he later, after he ran away, he started going like Timon and Pumbaa were like, "Hey man, how you doing?" It's like, it's a long story. I don't want to talk about it. I'm like,
Edgy.
okay, you emo.
it's edgy. Edgy Simba.
Yeah, the one line that I'm like, wow, that's a very emo-esque, like, cliche line. The one line that turned that around and went like, okay, he's definitely emo, was when he went, "You don't understand where I've been," to Nala. It's like, shut up. You were in the highlight of society. You were in a rainforest. You had friends. You had food. Like, everything. You're apparently well-groomed. You're fine. You don't know where I've been. Whatever. Stop talking with your lion mouth. That's gonna be my senior quote. But it was very not scripted correctly.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I want it to be better.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Beyonce.
Yeah, I knew that was coming up. Beyonce is a very talented singer. Alright, sorry about that weird cut, but either way, we're Beyonce. Go ahead. But remember, when you breathe, and I'm just going to introduce it to everyone, Beyonce is fine. Beyonce, she can sing. I respect her, and she's very good at what she does. She is respected by many, and many people like her. So when I pass the mic over to Anthony, he will remember this. And will speak slowly so that everyone can hear him. Go ahead.
Okay. My problem with
Beyonce!
My problem with Beyonce. Let's just say, okay.
That sounds like such YouTube cool.
She's
Never
not
mind.
bad, but I prefer the original voice. Maybe that's just me.
It's not.
The singing voice was... For the song she sang, it was okay. It's just... I don't know. Like I said, I prefer the original voice of what Nala, how she was singing. It sounded better, in my opinion. And I know I may offend a lot of people, and people are going to be like, Beyonce is the greatest person of all time. Listen, I do not care if you love Beyonce. I don't. I'll be honest. I don't.
You can like whoever you want.
Yeah.
That goes for all of us. It's not just like your opinion's right.
But let's see. All right. So Beyonce.
I mean, I'm going to do some research. You talk about Beyonce for a little bit.
So the way she did the singing, she had to be very pop culture-y about it. She had to go to the long extensions that shouldn't have been there.
Which we've already talked about in the singing.
She had to add that, add this, add that. Her voice was okay, but it also felt like, again, like every other thing where it doesn't have emotion. It doesn't have really any emotion, and, that's the problem. Where it's like, again, it's like every other character, there's no emotion, which is, I mean, I get it, but for her, it really feels like there's nothing there. And
she has her own website. Who knew? But yeah, kind of going off of that.
Oh, she has her own website?
Yeah, Beyonce.com. Not that we're sponsored now, but no, it's, she has a net worth of $440 million, by the way. Nearly. Like, add a couple million, and she's nearly half the amount of what this movie is.
Oh, yeah, this movie.
It's like, $1.3 billion as of recording now?
Oh, but actually, whoever was the kid of Nala actually was...
She did fine.
Yeah, she did fine.
I felt like her sarcastic jokes were very well timed out and everything.
Yeah.
But having Beyonce play Nala was just... I felt like it was a cash grab because, and I've talked about this with you personally, but I don't feel like just because I don't think you should advertise a film by going like, Beyonce's in it. Yeah. You should advertise a film because The Lion King's coming out.
Because here's the thing, the original Lion King, it had a lot of famous voice actors still, but
which
even
is
then,
fine.
It didn't use those voice actors for its benefits. And then it was like, oh my gosh, this person is here. Go watch the film because this person's here. This, on the other hand, was like, Beyonce's here. Donald Glover's here. Go watch this film because, all these voice actors that, you guys really love, all these famous people are in this film. go ahead and watch it.
But just I don't feel like if you're famous, you should be in a film
Just because
you're famous. I feel like, not that I'm saying, oh, well, I'm not in a film and I'm not famous, so you should make me in a film. No, just pick new people. I don't care if there's people who we've never even heard of, but just someone else.
Okay, let me give you for an example.
If they can play the character, let them play the character. Okay, go on.
All right. You know who plays Iron Man, right?
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr., right? What they did with him is they had many voice actors in line, right? Mm-hmm. And with this, they were trying to figure out who'd be, the best. Tony Stark. He played the line like it was everything he is. Like he played with sarcasm, everything. And I don't know, he just went on, and he was perfect. You see, if you do stuff like that, that makes sense. You can find the perfect people for the perfect roles.
Exactly.
But here's the thing. That's how that worked. This one, I'm pretty sure they're just like, you're famous. We want you. Get in here. Let's get ready. You're singing a line, and let's go.
Exactly.
That's pretty much.
Hold on. Entertain people for a minute. I'll be right back. Keep talking. Just keep talking.
Okay.
Man. Whatever.
So let's talk about the monarchy.
Don't curse, though.
All right. So how do I say this? Okay. The Lion King live action movie was It was The actors were except, of course, for Mufasa, best voice actor there was in this film. But I will say there was definitely some scenes where I definitely did enjoy the film, especially the beautiful, beautiful river where he's talking to his father up in the sky. That scene was amazing. It was beautiful, and it's exactly how I imagined the scene would go. And they did that scene so perfectly well. Rafiki, we haven't mentioned him that much. We'll probably talk about when he gets back. He's okay. Rafiki's okay.
What are you talking about?
Right now I'm talking about Rafiki.
Oh, okay, yeah. Rafiki wasn't really talked about. So, as some of you may have remembered from the first ever podcast and the 5th podcast that came out, special guest. Hi, Dad.
Hi.
So I had to bring him in real quick because I remembered that in Jaws there was a famous person that came in, but he wasn't really prepared to play that role yet, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know what this has to do with what you guys were talking about because I haven't been here, but in Jaws, Richard Dreyfuss was up for a part that he played, and he was in town, and he knew he had an appointment, but when he went in to meet the director and producers, I was told that he just had this fishing outfit on, and he had just come from camp or something, and he wasn't really trying too hard to get the role, but he just wanted to meet them and say hello because he was already well known. And when he went in looking like this, all disheveled and everything, like he just got off a boat, they looked at him and said, "That's perfect. Don't change a thing." And he had no idea what he was talking about, but he got the role. So that's it.
That was it. I mainly wanted to bring him in just for that little tidbit because I remember it when you brought it up. All right, thank you, Dad.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye. Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Love you. All right. There won't be any more special guests that I know of, but that just reminded me of the Jaws fact, which I didn't know he was famous at the time. But either way, the point was that he wasn't really ready to play that role yet, but they still went, "You're perfect. Mm-hmm. You're fine." So they did all that. Now, where were you with Rafiki?
He's okay.
Yeah, he was fine. I felt like he could have been... This is going to sound really bad. He should have spoke more English.
Yes.
Because I did like how he was speaking, presumably African. Mm-hmm. So that was fine. But at the same point, it just didn't... At certain points, I couldn't quite understand his point of what he was saying, why he was saying certain things. And then also when he drew the picture of Simba, that was different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just drew the face.
I'm pretty sure he drew the face earlier before, but he took bugs to draw the face. Before he broke the fruit, did that, to do with all that with the fruit. Also, it's weird. Whatever that fruit they used was different because before, remember, they opened up the fruit and had juice inside of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say he like ripped some sticks in half
Some
and then
roots, I think, or whatever they're called.
Roots, yeah, probably not sticks, but yeah, it was just that was very different. Which fine, whatever. Speaking of red stuff, blood that was in the film.
Was
yeah,
it really?
I didn't think you noticed when Scar was eating the antelope on Pride Rock. He had skin on his hair on the bottom, and I'm like, that's so cool. But also, why is it that?
Because they wanted the PG rating.
They needed the PG rating. But yeah, there's a lot that we could talk about the film, but I feel like we hit almost everything we really wanted to talk about. So I guess now we can kind of give our overall feel, unless you want to add one more thing.
I'm trying to think of something. Oh, wait, we never did talk about my favorite scene. I did mention this.
Okay, then yeah, talk about yours.
My favorite scene, so beautiful, was when he was going to goes to the river and then sees his father again. The father's scene.
Right.
Was beautiful. I like that scene. I love it. It was amazing how it looked.
There were two things I felt like the animation department kind of went like, maybe we can't do that yet, was the cloud scene. I really liked that scene, but I felt like they were like, we don't know how to animate the cloud yet. Followed by with the infamous special effects scene with the dust. That's what it says. Doesn't say anything else. But I felt like when he just laid down and only a little fur thing came off of him.
That was so weird.
I was like, okay. It also went on for so long.
I know. I was shocked. I was like, it went from... It's so weird. It went to a dung beetle.
Okay, he fell, or he laid down, fur fell out, it flies for a little bit, lands in the water. Bird takes it. Bird, other couple, picks up the feather, or the hair, throws it out, and then lands on a branch. Giraffe eats it. Fade to black. Fade black. We now have a dung beetle rolling in the desert. It falls, and then it blows even more, gets carried by an ant all the way up to Rafiki, who Rafiki goes, he's alive, and then we go back. In the other one, it was like 30 seconds. Yeah, this was almost 2 minutes. Yeah. It's like, I don't care. I know where it's going.
They wanted that 2-hour mark. They just couldn't reach it.
Yeah, they're like, keep going. It's like, how do we add it? Add the giraffe.
Add the dung beetle rolling.
Add the dung beetle. That was fun.
And then weird tornado appear or something?
Yeah, that was like, it's like magic.
Random tornado appears.
You know what my favorite part was, and this might be the like younger nerd in me, was the opening credits, how it was all 2D.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's so cool! And then it went to 3D, I'm like, oh yeah, it's live action. Quote unquote. But I really liked how they weren't like over the top of like, oh man, because I was thinking, are they going to make a tiny rock look like the castle and then that whole idea? Yeah. And I'm like, no, they're just like, ooh, look at this.
Oh, what else I would say? Yeah, I think like the animals look so real.
Yeah, the animation we really liked. Someone we went to go watch with would differ, but you know, she's allowed to have her own opinion. So, but either way, shout out, you know who you are. But
I don't think they're gonna listen to this.
Probably not. Probably not. But you know, but yeah, I think that about does it for all of this. So. Why don't you give it an overall thought and then at the end rate it out of 10?
Can I just rate it out of like every single thing that's like a categories?
If you want, but then do an overall.
Yeah, well.
Out of 10 beetles. Not dung beetle, just like beetle.
Dung beetles, come on.
No. All right, fine.
All right. So I'm going to start with obviously my favorite part.
Let's just do 3 parts.
The animation, score, and... What else?
Let's do animation, the score, which is music, and the voice acting.
Okay.
I felt like that's what we mainly
10 out of 10. 10 dung beetles out of 10 dung beetles. I loved it. Found it amazing. Beautiful animation. Singing, 3 dung beetles out of 10. Disappointing. Really? I was really disappointed with the music.
It would appear so.
If you heard my rant earlier. Very disappointed just because like it changed so much and all that. But voice acting, 6 out of 10.
Really?
5 out of 10.
5.5.
Now, if we're talking about Mufasa, 10 out of 10.
No. I promise you, it's probably 4.5 out of that is Mufasa. The rest is everyone else.
Pretty much. Mufasa basically carries.
Yeah.
Really does carry. Same with Zazu.
All right.
They carry it. And then my
overall
score, 7 out of 10.
No bias there at all.
It's The Lion King. I think that's the only reason. Other than that, I'll probably either put it 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. But I think
4, 3.
I think because of the nostalgia factor and the fact that it's The Lion King, like it
Yeah.
boosts it up for me.
Which I knew going in, I'm like, it's going to get a high score no matter what. They could kill Simba and Anthony would still go like 10 out of 10. Okay, so with me, animation, 10 out of 10. It looked extremely realistic and I loved, especially the fur when it was wet.
Yeah.
I didn't know how they were going to do that, but just seeing with Rafiki, the water droplet hanging off, phenomenal. Thought that was really good. The score, I was actually going to give a 4. It's still low, but I felt like essentially the same thing. Singing could have been better, and it was just like be prepared. Why?
Oh, those disappointing.
You failed me. Well, you just disappointed me. So, and then for the last one of what did we say? We said voice acting. I'd give a 5 just because it was on average. It was okay. I felt like you said, Scar, Mufasa, and Zazu, they were good. But Timon and Pumbaa, they really brought it down. And Beyonce, she did a good job voice acting, but because she's just like all over the entire film of the music and her own cover and everything, and it was okay. So overall, I'm gonna give it. I'll give it a out of 10. No,
Wait, come on.
7 out of 10.
Really? Okay.
I'll give it. Yeah, I was gonna give 6.5. I'm like, no, I'll give it 7.
Okay.
Which I know. These past podcasts, I've been copying what my guests have been saying. I don't mean to. They copy me.
Definitely.
Obviously.
I'll just tell you, when we went out of the theater, I asked him what his score would be. He said 6 out of 10, so I'm pretty sure
No.
he's copying.
No. But yeah, either way. And then what did everyone else say? Essentially everyone else said the same. It was
except
7 and 6.5.
I don't know what.
He gave it a 7.
7?
I want to say he gave it a 7.
You know, we have one person who gave it 10 out of 10.
Yeah. But overall, I still enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
I would still recommend viewing it, but I would definitely watch the 90s one first.
Okay. Yeah, this is what I would say. If you want to be disappointed, watch the Lion King live action. If you want to... Okay, so this is what I think. If you see the Lion King live action, I think you'll be pretty amazed and you'll enjoy it if you didn't see the original. But then if you see the original, it blows it out of the water.
Have you seen the Broadway or any part of the Broadway show?
No, I actually want to see it.
I've seen like the little snippets they have, like advertisements and all that. It looks phenomenal. It's originally they didn't know if it would work or not. And then it did.
Really? You know, one thing I was like kind of interested in, and I wonder if they were gonna like try to put the morning report in.
Yeah, I heard music pop up. Like, don't.
I was like, no way, the morning report.
Which again, if you listen to it, go to our previous podcast where we talked about it, or just YouTube search it. But either way, I think.
One sec. Is this like the first movie you talk about that you've been like really like disappointed in? Like on this podcast?
Oh, what were the other movies we did? Let me see. We've done a good look back on the past. We did Planet of the Apes, and then the original Lion King, Detective Pikachu, Saving Mr. Banks, the Muppet movie, and then this one, which is the 6th one. I want to say I'm not disappointed in it as much as I just know it could have been better. So.
And then you got me. I'm pretty disappointed in it. Except I gave it a 7 out of 10.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a Disney fan, and I even have Crazy Socks that on the back of them, it has Scar's face on the front, and on the back it says "Surrounded by Idiots." I think I wore that one day to finals.
Let me just say, the one thing that to me like saved the movie itself was because it kept the original story.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's like the one thing that...
Well, you couldn't really change the story that much. You could, but then it wouldn't be the Lion King.
But then you think about Sleeping Beauty. The story changed is almost pretty much nothing's alike from the animation to what it is. Like pretty much Sleeping Beauty, the whole story just changed. So that's what I'm saying. Like, basically, that's what makes it a 7 out of 10. Legit, just the story is pretty much what saved it. The original story is what saved it, and some of the voice acting as well.
Yeah. So. I think that does. I'm terrible at endings. I really don't know how to end these types of podcasts.
You know how we're going to end this type of podcast?
How are we going to end it? You get to hear some behind the scenes now, folks. How are we going to... pals. They're all my pals.
Yes, this is how we're going to end it. I'm going to steal your computer, and then you just say you lost it. There you go. That's how we end it.
Okay, I think that'll work. So do you think if we cut it, then they'll be tricked to it?
Yeah, no, I think if we cut it... Yeah, no, imagine this is how we can just cut it off out of nowhere.
So we just end it. So we just end the podcast out of nowhere.
Just end it out of nowhere.
So we don't. So we don't even say thank you.
A midway of talking.
So we shouldn't even say thank you for listening or anything. Just